Hello there. It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, it certainly has. I've been away, I've been busy, haven't really used the Vocaloid software too much. Well, except for this past month at least. It's good to be back, I suppose. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a update video today. Let me just get rid of this. I know I'm very professional here. So I'm just gonna kind of do a quick video on the parameters of the Vocaloid 5 software. Now, I know there's a bunch of videos on like what the parameters do and how to use everything, but I kind of want to do a little bit more of an in-depth kind of video. I've done this on the Vocaloid 4 software, but I've never really made a video on the Vocaloid 5 software. So let's do something different, shall we? That's kind of also the same. So here we go. I'm gonna just take my little cursor and drag out a note right here. To be honest, I think I could show you. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. I could show you everything that I want to teach you, show you right here. So let's start with velocity right here. Velocity is the parameter that strengthens or weakens the consonant of a vowel, or lengthens it, or shortens it. So let's take the consonant, or let's take the kana. Come on. Ma. Scroll back a little bit. Well, I guess we can't really. So let's just move that like that. Boom. So when I play it back, it's gonna sound like this. Ma. Ma. So you see this little kind of line that swoops up. That is the consonant. And actually, if you hit Alt, you can see this little M right here. This little space right here is the consonant. Now, if I were to take this and drop this down from 64, which is what it's currently at, to 27, you see how this became elongated? Ma. It is elongated the consonant M. Now, if I do the opposite and bring it up here, it becomes much shorter. Ma. And if I go all the way to 127, it's just ma. Yeah, you can still hear it clearly though, the M. So, however, if you are in a song and you want to shorten it, make the consonant a bit shorter, be careful not to make it too short, because sometimes you can't even understand what kana is being sung. So, little heads up there. So let's set that. Did I set that back to 64? I don't know. Let's select that. It's at 49. That's close, right? 64. All right, fantastic. So there's the velocity. Now let's go to dynamics. Now dynamics, that's pretty straightforward. That's the volume of the vocals. So if I bring it up like so, ma, it makes it louder. If I bring it down, makes it quieter until you can't hear it. At least I think that's yeah. So if you bring it down to 0, you cannot hear it at all. All right, fantastic. So that's that parameter out of the way. Pretty simple. Pitch bend, also kind of self-explanatory. It bends the pitch of the note, like so. If you draw like this and then like that, get a little fancy. You see this line right here? This yellow line. Well, didn't mean to do that. Represents the pitch of the note. So let's listen to it now that I've added some beauty to it. So that changes that. Now I'm gonna go on to the second one. Pitch bend sensitivity. It's the pitch bend and pitch bend sensitivity work hand in hand. So what happens here will ultimately affect how exaggerated the pitch bend is. So let's go here and bring this up to 19. You see it's become a bit more extreme. Let's listen to that, shall we? Ma. Very beautiful, right? He has such a way with words. Oh, he's beautiful. Also, if anyone is curious, I am using VOCALOID native, or nope, power, sorry. Let's change that to native. I don't know why. let's just do it. Oh man, his vocals are so much more muffled. All right, well that's all good. That's all fine and dandy. We're still recording, right? Yep, we're still recording. Okay, fantastic. So let's just take all this, select all, and let's Control X that. So that I messed that up. Heck. Okay, I'm still doing the same thing. I'll just drag and erase. All right, fantastic. So we have that. So let's go now to Exciter. So Exciter is the parameter, a new parameter that was added to the Vocaloid 5 software, and I really enjoy this parameter. This parameter essentially gives the vowel of the note more power. If you go up, it makes it clearer, more crisp, and just a little, it kind of makes it a little louder. So let's listen to that. So you can kind of tell a difference. So if we bring it down, it kind of makes it a little more muffled or quiet. So this is good for if you want to exaggerate one note. This is a very helpful tool. So I use it quite a lot, and I used it a lot after I learned how to use it in my new cover, which you should totally check out, by the way. It's I might put the link in the description. I don't know. So there's that. Fantastic. Now let's go to growl. This was added in the Vocaloid 4 software. This gives the voice a more gravelly growl effect to it. That's really all I can say about that. So this is one parameter I'm not too familiar with yet. I'm still trying to figure it all out, you know. But I do like it. I use it sparingly, and I don't know if I can use it effectively yet, but I do use it sparingly every now and then. So there's that. Breathiness. Now this is not a new parameter, but it is a fixed parameter. Throughout all the other versions of Vocaloid, the breathiness parameter sucked, and it was only really noticeable for notes that were in the higher range. Now though, with the breathiness parameter, it's so much more. It actually sounds breathy. So let's bring that up. Isn't that amazing? I can only dream of doing that in the Vocaloid 4 software. So that makes it softer. So you can use that for, let's say, ghost vowels, which is when you kind of take a breath outwards after you stop singing a note. So if you just want to create a ghost vowel, you bring that up. See? Kind of gives that effect, and it's very nice. Now, air is kind of the same. I haven't really found out the difference, per se. I believe with air, it doesn't affect the volume, but it just overall just affects how much air is coming through the vocal. So if we go like this. So you see there the volume of it hasn't changed too much, but you can definitely tell there's a lot more air coming through the vowel. So personally, I think it would have been just fine had we gotten maybe just breathiness or air, just one, as you know, not both, but you know, with further knowledge down the road, I'll be able to figure out how to use both of those correctly. So mouth used to be called a character, and this is how open or closed the vowel of a certain note is. So let's go like this. Ma, ma, ma. Let's go with that. Ma, 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 ma. I don't know how to go with that. So let's go like that. And now let's bring this slightly down each time. See how the mouth sounds like it's more closed? So that's what that does. It's good for if you are in a certain, let's say in a sentence, and there are just a few words that you don't really want them to be as noticed because they're not the words that you need to be impactful within a certain phrase. So you can take this, turn it down along with a few others like the dynamics and such, and just make it sound a little more natural, because that's what we do. We enunciate some words and we don't with others. So good parameter still. I like it. I personally would definitely like the Vocaloid 2 version of the opening parameter, mouth parameter, whatever. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. So character, this used to be called the gender factor in the Vocaloid 4, all the way down to Vocaloid 1 parameter. Or, yes. Yeah. Software. This one is how deep or like how masculine or feminine the vocals sound. Now with the Vocaloid 5 software, they changed it around. So in the Vocaloid 4 software, if you brought it down to here, this way, it would become more feminine. And then if you did it the other way, it would become more masculine. However, they changed it around. So now when you go up, it becomes more feminine, and when you go down, it becomes more masculine. And personally, I kind of like that. I think it makes more sense just when you think about it, because, you know, higher, lower. Yeah. So let's listen to that. And then when we bring it down, it can sound a bit weird if you aren't careful with it, kind of with any parameter, I suppose. But wow, that was was a deep breath. Okay, but remember to breathe, Daniel. Remember to breathe. So if you kind of do it a bit too much, it can sound a bit wonky, unless that's what you're going for within your vocal thing, with your vocals. I'm really good at English, guys. So that's the character parameter. Now brightness. This is kind of like, from what I've experienced, it's kind of like a more fine-tuned dynamics parameter, in the sense that it brings down the intensity, but not too much the actual dynamics. It's kind of hard to explain. Let me just kind of go like this. And then let's drop that off like that. Yeah. So it doesn't really change the intensity of the note, just the... No, sorry. It doesn't change... I can't even put it into words. It's just... It's definitely not like the exciter or dynamics. It's something different. It's just how bright the note sounds. So there's that parameter explained, sort of, in my own weird way. I really hope you guys understand what I'm trying to convey here, because it's kind of hard sometimes. Now clearness, I don't really mess with this parameter all that much, but it makes the vocals more crisp. But again, this one is also a bit sensitive. You got to be careful, or else it's just gonna kind of sound weird, and it can actually like kind of lose its power with the vocals if you're not careful. So it's not a very good example. Let's go crazy with that. Hold on, let's listen to that. Yeah, you can kind of tell what it's doing. So yeah, I don't really mess with it, but if there are those who know more about it, please let me know in the comments. I would actually like to know more about this parameter. So there's that one. Fantastic. And then our last one here, the portamento timing. Let's take these notes and put them And let's connect all the notes so they sound like this, and then I go like that, and I like that. So the portamento timing affects where the pitch changes relative to the note in front of it. So if we were to take this between these two notes, and we were to bring this up to 112 right here, bring this down. Do you see how the pitch now, it changes way later after this has been cut off? So, and it does the exact opposite if you go down. So it'll change the pitch sooner. So that I like using this parameter a lot. It definitely helps if I want to add a little bit more of a different kind of fling to a certain note. You know, I use this quite a lot in my covers, um, and it's just always been very helpful. Once I knew how to use it, I never looked back. So that has been the most recent update of the Vocaloid software for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment, and please subscribe. I'm at almost, wow, I'm almost 30 away from 200 subscribers. That's pretty insane. So thank you guys so much, and you have an excellent day. And now I'm going to very professionally stop this recording.